it was a risk to draw, but there was no way I was going to be able to turn around and shoot her over here.
I think she's still there. She didn't completely run away.
I should have just let her go because there could have been more, I guess, but all she had to do was like I could have shot her here. She just never gave me a chance to draw. Oh, when she stopped at that scrape, what I was hoping she would do is I was hoping she'd go left or right and be broadside and maybe give me a chance to draw. Well, we had an awesome opening morning. We only had that one doe come in, and she came out about 30 yards right onto this opening and turned and came straight at us, stopped and checked the scrape, and continued to come straight at us with no chance to draw my bow. As she was about to pass over to my weak side where I wasn't going to get a shot, I thought, you know what, I'm going to take the risk and try to draw back. And of course, she spooked and ran off, as you saw. In hindsight, what I learned from this hunt, as I've been thinking about it, is I probably should have let her walk on by. I knew it was too risky. Should have just let her go. I think she would have walked by, never known we were here, and we would have probably had a better chance in the future from this spot. Now that doe for sure knows exactly where we're at in this tree. I had a solid plan for this evening's hunt until I realized the wind was just not quite right for that spot. I thought it was going to be perfect. It's just not quite right. So we got up in this tree where I've killed a doe out of the last 2 years. And the trail camera pictures have been kind of spotty this year, but we pulled the card this afternoon, and in the last week there have been a lot of daylighting bucks, both morning and evening. And so I'm feeling a bit more optimistic. We're in a great spot. We're not very high off the ground. We got great cover. There's a fresh buck rub right over here. And so I'm looking forward to a really awesome night. Well, I can't really shoot him back there.
Yeah, all right.
I mean,
They're moving now.
the big doe's got her head this way, the other two are faced the other way.
Oh, here.
Don't move.
Behind you.
What?
Coming down this trail.
They're over here.
Yeah.
Buck.
Careful.
I can't draw. That doe's gonna spot me. One doe. Is there any bigger bucks?
I don't know. No, I don't see any.
Opening day buck, baby.
Oh, yes. No, but
I just saw more deer coming, and I just wanted to make sure it wasn't a big buck, but that wasn't.
that was a nice one.
Oh, man. I did not think that was going to happen. I thought she was going to bust me. He was angled toward me a little bit. I'm a little worried about it, but I heard a pop. Dude. Shaking so bad. Oh, he turned right then. Oh, that could be bad.
Your arrow's right there, though.
I definitely punched him, but it might have gone back. Oh, I just gotta calm down and then I'll watch it. My hands. I just got I've got to take the shot because I was at full draw. I'm pretty sure he's dead. I'm pretty sure he's dead, but it might be liver and guts. It might take a bit. Shortly after 6, we had a couple of does come in behind us. I was watching those, and Pastor Nathaniel starts whispering to me that there's deer over this way. A doe comes, and I see the 8-point buck coming right behind him, right behind the doe. And they came out, and she just turned toward me where I wasn't sure I could draw. She got across my opening here, got to where I felt like I could draw, got on the buck, looked behind. There's a bunch more deer coming. May have been another buck, I don't know. when I shot, my initial reaction was it was really good. When we watched the footage back, right as I was shooting, he turned toward me, so he was definitely quartered toward me a good bit. Entry looks good, but because he quartered, the exit may be pretty far back. So, is that it right there?
Yeah, I think so.
All right, we just watched the video back.
That's the case. Then.
If this is the case, the exit wound is mid-body, right behind the offside shoulder. If that's it, he's toast.
I kind of hope you didn't get it, because I'm not ready to shoot a buck yet. That's a joke. It's a joke.
My hunting partner just said he hopes that I
cut
didn't.
that out.
My hunting partner just said he hopes I didn't get it, because he knows that if I got it, then he's up for shooting a buck.
Yeah.
He says he's not ready. I don't know. What's up with that?
I'm not ready.
All right, we'll go shoot some does.
Okay, that worked.
Just got down out of the tree. Gonna head over here, check the arrow. All right, well, we just checked the arrow. Looks good, it's bloody, doesn't look like guts at all. Doesn't look like dark red liver blood. It looks like it's got some bubbles in it, so everything's looking pretty good. We're gonna go put this footage on a bigger screen, check it out.
Seems like it was pretty close, or not?
About 25 yards.
Oh, okay. Wait! You said a doe.
No, I didn't. I just said I shot one.
Oh man, this adds a little bit more excitement to this thing. Whoa!
It turned to me just at the last. Well, it was already little to me, and then right as I shot, it turned more, which is why I'm a little bit nervous about it.
Right there, okay, right
So
there.
right there, we think might be the exit hole. If that's the exit hole, then I feel really good. My suspicion, see there's a trail right there?
Oh, yeah.
My suspicion is it went straight into that trail. No, he went where you're at, Dad. There's a track right behind you. It's kicked up right there. Oh, there's a lot of blood right there.
What is it? Does it say anything if the blood is a little bit brown?
Yes.
Because that looks a
All
little
right,
bit brown.
let's back out.
Well, y'all, I'm back in my shed now, and this is where I've been making some of my recent YouTube videos, but it's actually my shed. This is little workshop area tools, and as well as sort of my hunting cabinet, all of my stuff there. But anyways, just want to show you that real quick. It's about 9 o'clock at night, and we did not find my buck. Moment of impact, I felt really, really good. And after I watched the footage for the first time, it was the first time I started to feel concerned about it. I realized how much quartered to me it was. And I'm really frustrated with myself right now. That's just the raw emotions of what I'm feeling. Really frustrated. I want to make good, clean, quick, ethical kills. And I want my brain to be engaged in the process. I get buck fever and it's just like, man, I got to make this shot. A lot of does around, was worried about getting busted. And so it was definitely more quartered to me than what I anticipated. And looked at the footage, and it looked like as that buck was running away that there was an exit hole right behind the shoulder, which I was really surprised but really glad. But I felt very confused about it because it did not look like the angle of entry, wasn't sure. But after we tracked, no blood at first, and we got into some good blood, pretty decent blood, good blood on the arrow as well. But after about 150 yards, we still hadn't found it, and there were several patches of brown blood, which could be indicative of liver. And so we've decided to back out. I really feel pretty confident. That loud pop into the cavity there through the diaphragm sounds good. I believe that this deer is a dead deer, but I don't want to push it. So right now it's been about 2 to 3 hours after the shot. Right now I'm trying to decide, am I going to go back in about 11 o'clock or midnight, or am I going to wait till morning? It's a little warm overnight, a little bit worried about that, but that's kind of where we are. I'm really disappointed in myself. First time ever getting a chance at a buck on opening day. So definitely disappointed, very tired, but I'm going to get some rest, get something to eat, and make a decision about when we go back and look for this buck.
Well, everyone, it's the following day. Came out last night, lost blood again, and so my friend Torrey came. He's got some tracking dogs, and tell us the name of your tracking.
I'm from Glenny Tracking, and there's a couple of us that are part of it now. But and then we also have a YouTube channel called Our Tracks, and we show some of our tracking, we show our hunts, we show some of our adventures on there. And met this guy a few years ago, and love what he's doing with the Budget Sportsman. Is that what this is going on, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Can't wait.
So-
I'm honored to be on it.
So we're gonna head up here, find first blood, and let the dog do its work. We optimistic?
Hope we'll be on a dead deer, hopefully within the hour.
All right, sounds good. Let's go. Yeah, I think he jumped that log right there. I think there's blood on that log. And that's when I started to really get nervous. It's jumping logs. It should be dead by now.
They can do amazing things. Not sure where he went from here.
No.
Where did he go?
I think he like
Where did
went.
he hit that?
Yeah, he did. He like we expected him to go straight through, and he went down and around. I think that the dog is right on it. Hunter's got it going on right there. So this is pretty cool. Hunter, the dog, at the beginning was just kind of seemed a little bit unsure, learning the scent profile, and now he's seeming really confident, just taking off. All right, guys, well, I know the next thing that you want to see is me standing over a dead buck, but unfortunately, that's not going to happen in this video. We spent a lot of time looking for him. As you saw in the video, I even got a dog to come in. Unfortunately, the dog was just not able to make it past the point of last blood. Probably what happened in our efforts to find the deer, you know, we get to last blood and you're just kind of fanning out a little bit. You're just looking for that next drop of blood. You know, you even made a few small loops, you know, really hoping to find that buck, thinking it's got to be lying here somewhere. We probably tainted the blood trail. We did make a loop with the dog out around sort of our last blood location beyond where we walked. And we did pick up a scent trail at one point. And the dog ran us about 1.5 miles. I mean, very frantic. Like, it was on something. But we never found any blood on that trail. There's no real indication that that was my buck. After, you know, running through the woods for 1.5 miles, and that's after we'd already been tracking for a couple of hours, eventually we ran out of time, and I had a meeting to go to, and Torrey had another track job to go to, and so we ended up having to call it off, and up to this point, we've not been able to find the buck. As I'm recording this segment, it's been about 2 weeks since the shot, and he's not shown back up on camera. We've not found him anywhere, so I don't have any great conclusion, which is a real bummer. I did want to take a minute, though, and talk you through a couple of, I guess, mistakes that were made, things that I learned, things that I could do better. And the first is I hate to say it, but my mental game. Last year at the end of the season, the last deer I shot last year was a buck in archery season, and I called that video Hunting as a Game of the Mind, and how I had let my mind lose that mental battle. Well, I feel like I sort of did the same thing in this hunt in a different way, but what happened was we had some does come out behind me, and I was looking at them, and these other deer came out in the area where I actually wanted to shoot them. But when I turned this way to have my focus on these deer that I was getting ready to shoot, in the back of my mind, I'm thinking about these deer behind me and thinking, I have no idea if they're looking at me, if they're smelling us. I have no idea. And so these deer could spook at any minute. And so I got to full draw, and I felt pressured to take that shot before deer spooked. In hindsight, really, once I was at full draw, a large majority of the risk of these deer spooking were gone. Like, there's a pretty good chance they weren't going to spook once I'm at full draw and I've made the biggest movement that I need to make. And so I should have just taken a little bit more time and waited. I really think had I waited, that deer probably would have turned and given me a broadside shot. So I'm really frustrated at myself for letting that pressure get to me. And it's probably the hardest part of this experience for me is recognizing my own failures. And that is, hey, I've got to keep my head in the game. No matter if things happen super fast, which they did in this hunt, and that affected me, whether they happen super slow, whether it's at the end of the season and you're frustrated, whatever the case may be, you've got to keep your head in the game and make good and wise decisions. And I'm a little bit embarrassed to say My buck last year, I was fortunate enough to harvest him, but I made some poor decisions. And then this deer, I just wish I'd have made a little bit better decision in waiting for a better shot. Now, while I do feel frustrated with myself for not waiting for a little bit better shot, the reality is the arrow did go exactly where I wanted it to go. And I do believe if that deer had not whirled, that we probably would be having a different conversation right now. I think it probably would have been a successful harvest. And so where I was aiming was up tight, just straight up from the leg, really tight, trying to get in that V right there and punch it right through. And that's really where the arrow went. But the deer turned into it, but he also turned this way, bringing his backbone, his upper part of his back, toward me and his belly away from me. And I think probably what happened is that arrow then matched the angle of his body, and it hit and went down through and probably came out maybe in the belly or maybe on the same side as the entry. I'm not really sure. And that's probably why it was only a single lung hit, although I do believe it was a single lung hit because there was bubbles in the blood. Now you're saying, okay, but what about the exit wound that you pointed out earlier in the video? Well, a couple of days after the hunt, I was starting to work on editing this video, and I really was wondering, what is that thing? If it's the exit wound, that deer should have been dead, within a couple hundred yards, certainly within the distance that we had tracked him. So I went back and found some trail camera pictures from the previous week, and sure enough, that mark was a pre-existing mark that was already there several days, or maybe who knows how long, but at least it was there that I know of several days before I shot him. And so that was another mistake we made, and it's hard to really know how you could have done anything differently. It certainly looked like an exit wound to us on the video, but in hindsight, it was not. And so had we known that at the time, I probably would have waited a little bit longer to go in and start tracking him the very first time. Unfortunately, it was information we just didn't know. Would have it made a difference? It's hard to predict. We never bumped him out of a bed. We never saw him out of a bed. It appears to me that after the shot, he traveled a very, very long way. And eventually, perhaps clotted up or clogged up the blood trail of some way. So those are the lessons learned. It's a very hard way to start the season. A lot of self-doubt I've been dealing with. You probably don't see it on my face as much now. It's been 2 weeks, and I've been able to sort of move past a little bit. But the first couple of days, it was like I kind of lost some desire to hunt, if I'm being honest, and took some mental readjustments to be ready to get back out there and keep hunting. But that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get back out there and keep hunting. I hope you're having a great season. Let me know down in the comments what you think. What did I do wrong? What did I do right? And what could I do different the next time? Thanks so much for watching all the way to the end. I hope you enjoyed the video. Until next time, remember to get off YouTube and get outdoors into God's great creation.